The best of Money Matters. Right Business.
Welcome to The Right Business, where we dive deep into the stories of trailblazers who dare to disrupt the status quo, find the gap in the market to find the right business. Hello, I'm Hongbin Jeong. Now, as the world seeks more sustainable alternatives to traditional meat, cultivated meat has emerged as a promising solution. However, there's a common challenge that many of these products face: flavor. Now, while they're often touted as the future of protein, some just don't hit the mark when it comes to taste and texture. So this is where we have Singaporean startup ImpacFat, which believes they've cracked the code to solving this issue with their unique approach to cultivated fish fat. Now, founded in 2019, ImpacFat was born out of a desire to elevate the flavor profile of lab-grown meats. Now, their breakthrough, cultivated fish fat, a key ingredient that can transform the sensory experience of these products. So to find out more, joining me today to share more is Mandy Hon, who is the founder of ImpacFat. Mandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining us. Mandy, I just want to find out, what was the inspiration behind this venture, and why did you decide that fish fat in particular was the key missing element in cultivated meat, in particular the flavor part of it?
Yeah, thank you. So I think first of all, before I delve into it, right, maybe I should explain a little bit more about what exactly is cultivated fish fat.
Yes.
So I guess this term is pretty foreign to a lot of people. So a lot of people do not really know, when we talk about cultivated fish fat, what is that? So I think in simple terms, it's a little bit more like what people say, like, lab-grown meat or lab-grown fat and etc. So we use other words like cultured as well. Yeah, so a lot of people has always think that, this is actually fake or like artificial, etc. But actually, this is the other way around.
Okay.
We are more natural than it is. So what we are doing is that we are actually using this called stem cell technology. So we are actually taking the stem cell and we produce it in the lab. Whatever that we produce is actually what the cells are producing.
Okay.
So this is, we do not add anything extra. We do not add anything artificial or like any additives inside as well. So it's completely natural. So whatever that we are producing is the same that what you eat from the meat itself.
Okay.
So bringing back to your topic about like inspiration. So what actually makes us go into this is actually, the Singapore's government initiative of 30 by 30.
Right.
Yeah, so that is actually talking about producing 30% of our own nutritional needs by 2030. So I think after this initiation, has like come through, a lot of companies have started to work on solutions like this. For example, like alternative proteins. So we have like all the cultivated meat or plant-based meat products as well. So something that's more familiar, it's like Impossible Meats or like Beyond Meats and etc.
Right.
Yeah, so I think as you mentioned just now, that like, one key issues about this is the taste. So a lot of the products simply do not taste good enough.
Right.
So that's where we see the gap as well, the same. Yeah, so meat without fat does not taste good.
Okay.
So because fat is usually the component that contributes to all the texture, mouthfeel, juiciness, everything. So I guess that's where we really want to come in. But since we have to take fat nonetheless, might as well take the healthiest fat. That's why we particularly work on fish fat itself, because it has very high nutrition, like omega-3, and that's what we need and that's what we want. So we do not want to waste our calories on something like fat that is like unhealthy. So that's why we're focusing on the fish fat itself.
Okay. Was cultivated fish fat not a thing before you entered the game?
Yes, actually. So we are actually the world's first company that's actually fully focused on cultivated fish fat.
Wow.
So before us, there is actually no other studies regarding cultivated fish fat out there in the market. So one of my founder of the company as well, Dr. Shigeki, so he actually started this whole research in A-Star itself. And we actually one of the first person that actually worked on this, and we published quite a lot of papers after that as well, together with the team. Yeah.
All right. Since you mentioned that you've published a lot of papers and you've decided to choose on a healthier fat, what are some of the key benefits of using cultivated fish fat then in terms of sustainability and health compared to, traditional fats in meat production?
Yeah. So in terms of sustainability, I think the key key thing that we are trying to tackle here is ethical issues. So nowadays, when we are actually eating all the, meat products, so how do we get them? We kill animals for it, right? Okay. So that's something that we really want to solve. So we all know that this is not a very sustainable kind of ways for the future as well. So this is one key thing. So in terms of health, I think the key issues is that we are also facing very serious pollution issues right there. So a lot of the fishes that we are eating nowadays are actually not that clean as we thought. So there are a lot of metal poisoning or microplastic pollutions and all this on the fish, that we eat or that we consume. So that's one of the key issues because it is pretty much out of our control and it might actually get worse in the future as well. So, but what we are doing in the lab, right, since we extract the stem cells from the fishes, we have to screen through thousands of them to choose the best cell line. So when I talk about the best cell line, it has to be the cleanest, the chosen one, The cleanest, there's no pollution inside, no cancer mutation gene, there is no antibiotics inside. So after that, we actually store the cell line and into the cell bank. So wherever we want to produce in the future, it will be as clean as it is, So whatever that we're consuming in the future will be clean as well. That's something that we really want to help in terms of health. Yeah.
So there's no doubt about it that it is clean and it is sustainable. But I want to know about the taste. So let's say I'm blindfolded and one meat is using actual fish fat, the traditional fish fat, and one meat is using, cultivated fish fat. Would I be able to tell the difference? I mean, is there a difference in flavor or is it really spotless?
Okay, so this is a very interesting topic. So we did have one of the tasting event last year. So one thing interesting that we did is that we did a blind tasting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but one thing, slightly different. So we actually do it with one with fat, one without the fat. Okay. So wanted to know the difference between if we put in a fat into a plant-based product and without a fat product, does it really make a difference in terms of taste? So that's something that we work on it and we are very happy that everybody that actually can tell the difference in it. How just by adding a little bit of fat inside, it enhances and elevates the whole taste of the whole product itself. Yeah. But in terms of comparing with the conventional fish fat itself, it should actually taste 1-to-1.
Okay.
Less the fishiness. That was one thing. That was actually because the fishiness from the fish usually come from an enzyme that actually produces only after the fish dies.
Okay.
But since we actually extract the stem cells out of the fish before the fish dies, so in a way that, this enzyme does not produce, so it's not there and that's why it does not have a fishiness. So it's pretty much if I were to explain, it's pretty neutral in taste. Yeah, but in terms of texture-wise, it creates exactly the same thing that what you get from the fat in the conventional meat. Yeah.
Whatever I'm hearing now is it is 100% win rate when it's compared to a plant-based, without the cultivated fish fat, and with the fish fat, of course, it will taste better, which is amazing. But cultivating fish fat seems to be a very complex and a costly process. How are you overcoming the high production costs and biomedical grade product requirements then?
Yeah, this is absolutely right. So as we all know that this stem cell technology started off for medical reasons. So we have been using this for cancer treatment and etc. Okay. So that explains why is it expensive, because most of the ingredients are biomedical grade. But our team has actually been working regarding this, reducing the cost for a couple of years, for the past few years. So what we are doing is that we are replacing the ingredients from biomedical grade to food grade ingredients one by one.
Okay.
So actually it takes really, really long process because we have to make sure that while we are replacing all the ingredients to a food source, it cannot sacrifice the yield of the cells. So we have to make sure that the cells like it in a way. So we have to change one at a time. And yeah, so while we're actually changing this to food grade, we're making it more sustainable sauce as well. So we get some from plant-based sauce too. And this can actually reduce the cost significantly compared to the medical uses of the ingredients. That's what we are trying to do as well.
Amazing. Well, with investor confidence in the cultivated meat industry being tested, how are you positioning ImpacFat to, reassure potential investors?
Yep. So I guess pretty much investors' confidence come with two key concerns. The first one is risk, and second one is timeline. You know, how fast can you go to the market? So as we all know, like technology like this are pretty early, and it requires many years of research before we can really go into the market. And yeah, so one thing that what we are trying to do is to maximize the potential, our ingredients. So for us as a cultivated fish fat, we are actually an ingredient, right? So to assure the investors, we have to let them know that we do not only target to a very niche, small market, so we can maximize the potential of it. So what ImpacFat is trying to do is that we're trying to see where else can we actually apply this technology on. For example, like, skincare industry or nutritional supplements. We all have been eating fish oil, products since young, right? And like, what about pet food industries as well? So, etc. So we can see that there are wide potential that we can actually tap into. So while we increase the kind of market that we are looking into, the lower the risk it is, and the faster the go-to-market can be.
I see. Yeah. Amazing. Well, what kind of response have you received from, potential consumers or industry partners regarding cultivated fish fat and its applications in food and other products?
So in terms of consumer part, we have actually asked quite a lot of people regarding, such a novel idea like this, will they actually accept and willing to try, and etc. So we're very happy to share that like a lot of vegans out there, not those that it's probably because of reason, but a lot of other vegans actually have two reasons that actually make them to, make this decision to take to become a vegan. One, it's because of health, and second is because of ethical reason. They don't want to kill animals, right? So if you actually become a vegan for these two reasons, we take your mark in a way. So that's the two things that we are trying to solve nonetheless. Yeah, so I think generally a lot of vegans have been very favorable with this and also very open to ideas like this as well. But also at the same time, we are also not only targeting vegans, we're also targeting, like all the mass crowd as well. So while we actually had 2 food tasting previous years, a lot of people actually sign up for it and they are very, very interested to try it as well. So I guess this is a pretty positive response, I guess. So for industry partners, I guess a lot of plant-based food company, interestingly, they are actually looking for solutions to solve the texture issues, because currently a lot of them are using oil, like coconut oil, palm oil, all this kind of oil, vegetable oil to solve their texture issues. But oil and fat is pretty different. So it can't really do what fat can do in terms of like, texture enhancement and all. So a lot of them are trying to look for alternative solutions. And so we actually signed quite a couple of like MOUs with plant-based companies as well. So in the coming year, we're actually looking into product development together with them.
I see. Well, the cultivated meat industry is still in its early stages. Where do you see the industry heading in the next 5 to 10 years? And how do you see ImpacFat evolving with it? I mean, why is ImpacFat the right business now and in the future?
Yes, a good question. So I guess for this industry, as you mentioned, right, it's early stage. Right. So, yeah, for now, this solution is actually more like a want. So a lot of people do not see the need of it yet, simply because we do not face any key issues in terms of like shortage of food and etc. But in the next 5 to 10 years, we actually foresee that, like, with the increase of populations and, like all the unexpected diseases, like pandemic, for example, etc., all these things will happen more often. And like, more issues will be coming up in the future. And we need alternative food source. And then one day, this will become a need instead of a want. But if we only look into solutions like this, when the days come, it will be too late. And that's why we need to start today when people don't see the need yet. So I guess I'm pretty excited about this, to be honest. I can feel that like, we will only be more applicable in the near future in 5 to 10 years time. And especially when issues happens, for example, like you short of certain kind of meats, you don't have access to certain kind of like products, food products out there. Yeah. So we hope that when that day come, we are ready. We are solutions that people can take it, and we still have the right to access to the nutrition that we need, like omega-3. We still have the right to access to the taste that we like in the food. Yeah.
I see. Well, before we let you go here, Mandy, what does the future hold for ImpacFat? I mean, is there any new developments? I mean, what's next? What can you share with us?
Yeah, so I'm very excited of what is coming actually for us. So while we are very happy to share that we actually submitted our final dossier to SFA last year. So that actually makes us to be the world's first fat company that actually get for regulatory approval. Yeah, so we are very excited to see, what it's coming up for food ingredient. But at the same time, we are also working on upcycling our conditioned media to use for skincare products right now. So that is the next development that we're actually working on. So we are hoping to work on both at the same time and with a different team together. So we're also looking for a couple of partners, for example, like Enterprise SG and etc. They have been helping us as well to connect with the related industry partners to help us to progress to the next steps together. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Mandy, for joining me today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Mandy Hon, who is the founder of ImpacFat. Now, this has been The Right Business with me, Hongbin Jeong.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.